Cool. We'll get started. So, hey everyone, it's Jason Lowe from Oracle here. I saw a few of those questions. How to get through this time? A few people that actually have turned up that this is the first time that they've been to a hackathon. So, based upon a couple of things I've seen over the few ones I've done and participated in, it's good to get a good intro from someone, and most of this information has been captured or just shown from experiences from Peter Lorre, so a good friend of mine, a mentor to startups and corporates alike. So I'm just going to run through a couple of different models of how to interact, how to engage with mentors, and probably just how do you look at the problem space that you've got. So the first thing that I'm going to do is everyone's going to be really excited about coming to the hackathon and being there. And what's going to happen is there's going to be a level of confidence, and there's going to be a level of competence. And when we actually think about it, we're actually, over this period of time, especially when you look at this competence over time, is that there's going to be this energy, this hype that we're actually going to have, and it's going to skyrocket really, really quickly. But then when we actually start forming teams or we can't find people, it's going to just drop down. There's going to be this level of confidence. How can I find the right people? How can I find the right mentors? What is the problem? What is the challenge? So this is where us as mentors kick in and help to actually get you through that. So this is like one of those sessions. Hopefully this is going to be valuable to you. And then over that period of time, and hopefully really quickly, we can get you back up and competent and confident at the same time, that by the end of this, that you know what you're doing, the project is done, the solution's done, everything's packed in and presented. Now, this is all well and good, but then if you're going out and asking a question, or that you're a mentor and here's my skills, then there's different ways that we actually interact. So this is based upon this thing called radical candor. All right. And there's two different dimensions that they talk about. One being us challenging you. So what is the question? What are you trying to ask? And the way that we deliver it. All right. So this is more around compassion. So, and empathy. So if we think about, and if we do this high, low, medium type scale, then as an example, if we're doing it compassionately, but we're not challenging you, then say, thanks, great, doing a great job. But then if it's not pushing you forward, then what's that really doing for you? So to shortcut all of this, where we really want to be is in this top right-hand corner, which is radical candor. So we want to be pushing you, we want to be doing that, but in such a way that you do have the confidence to keep moving forward. And that's been part of, definitely part of how I've been trying to go into these lot of situations and how do you actually looking at. So we really want to be challenging everyone and actually doing it in such a way that this is like that you do get the results out of this and you do become more competent and execute properly in this kind of mode. So on the flip side of this, there's going to be so many mentors and so many people that you're looking at, then it's going to be really hard to actually, all mentors are going to come from their own experiences. So how do you actually, as a competitor, how do you actually figure out what is right for you? And this is where just purely looking at critical analysis from your perspective is so important. So you need to consider what is right for you. You need to consider that the mentors are coming from their experiences and not necessarily from your own. And ultimately through this process, you are needing to actually own this yourself, you as an individual and you as a team. So treat the advice as purely as information and how does that impact you in terms of how you go about in terms of your team and how this moves forward. The one thing that I would then end on in terms of this is your traditional, how do I actually get started, and how do I actually start achieving this goal? So there's this kind of model which has all come from the whole lean startup type approach. And if you start here and you have your idea up here, it may also be how you form a team. Maybe the problem, maybe the challenge. And so fantastic, I want to head to that. But if you just head for that in one step, it's going to be really hard to actually even quantify whether you're A, going to finish, B, able to get the right team involved. How do you actually know that you're actually on the right track? So the best thing to do, and which is from this, is actually take a step back and say, okay, in a short period of time, how can I actually execute on this? How can I actually know that I'm actually heading in the right direction? So this is not about actually executing that idea in one step. It's not part of that first step. It's actually understanding whether that is the right place you need to be. So short amount of time to actually execute on that, to know you are heading in the right direction, then this is the whole point. And then after that, if you know that you're, hang on, that's not where I need to be. I need to be over here. Take another step, all right? Do it again, all right? So understand where you need to go, do that again, and see whether you hit it. And then you might find that you need to be over here and do it again. And you might find, hey, we did the right thing. I'll do it again. And then I'll do it again and say, hang on, I met up with where we need to be, but if I go through this process over and over again, I haven't just caught up with what I'm doing. It means that you're tracking where you need to be going. All right. So this is actually a bit of a loop. Stop wanting to do it, execute, all right, and see whether that's the right place. All right. So back and forward, turns into more of a, so this is actually a ready, fire, aim approach. In other words, is also aligns on the flip side of agile. All right. So better we can operate on that in terms of these processes, better we can actually get through this, which means in this kind of environment, testing and understanding what you want to go out and test. And this goes back into your design thinking approach. Also, we're really in an ideate phase. So we're really wanting to take this approach into idea and understand what is the problem. So eventually we'll come up with the solution around how this fits. So firstly, we'd be doing our discovery, and then we'll do our definition. So this is all about research around your problem, and we take this out to market, and it's best to actually understand what is the problem? How do we research the problem? Is this problem actually worth doing? And then by the time that we've actually landed on something that we're within this time box environment, we can then go into this design and develop type phase to actually figure out, okay, this is the end goal of what we actually do. So this is just a couple of different techniques that we've sorted out. There's a couple of experiences that I've had over the period of time. So hopefully this helps to navigate your way through the next few days.